it's hopefully.
I particularly enjoyed the way you took your characters today and wove them into the people that they were 25 years ago.
Yeah.
What type of people they were, what their hopes for the future were, which most of them didn't turn out the way they hoped they would.
Never does.
Yeah, well, that's true too. But it was well done because you had, in fact, you had a lot of little quirks and a lot of little weaving. You did a lot of weaving.
Mm.
One character with another, one character's story with the other.
I think for me, what is most enjoyable, and what I like to read too, are books about characters, more so than maybe very, very heavily plot-driven books. I mean, I love creating these characters who really become real. And then the book, it sounds like such a cliche because authors talk about this all the time, but it really does get to a point where you don't have to make the words come out of their mouths. You know them enough to know what they're going to say, and you're sort of channeling, you know. And you have to decide what to keep in the book and where to take it, but the people are kind of there with you. So it's weird. I'm reading this book by Elizabeth Strout, Olive Kittredge. I mean, talk about amazing characters. She's absolutely wonderful. This Olive Kittredge character is amazing, but all the people in her book. Another author that I love is William Trevor, and his characters are so rich, you know. So that's what inspires me. So
you've got another book ready to go, right?
I do. It's coming out in June, and it's called Summer Shift, which is another book set on the Cape, and it's kind of it's about a woman who owns a clam bar, and I was a waitress for a lot of years at different places, so I sort of loosely draw on some of that kind of craziness that goes on in a restaurant, and restaurant owners are a certain ilk also. They're interesting people. So, but this is about a woman who's kind of caught in the cycle of doing the same thing over and over and over again every year, preparing for a season, and a restaurant season, and very little changes in her life, and she feels kind of stuck. And this is what happens when one year one of her young employees dies suddenly at the beginning of the season, and that kind of brings a whole bunch of forces her to deal with some things from her own past, and brings a lot of people back in from her past, and helps her move forward. So again, kind of dealing with my usual theme of loss and how you move through it to get someplace.
And this theme is in, not the characters, but the theme is in the second book.
Yeah. I mean, I guess it's a pretty pervasive theme in people's lives. I mean, but I think a lot of the time we get stuck in places. If even in this book, some of the characters, like the Val character, has been stuck for years and years, you know, with some of the things that she creates in her mind. And so the trick is, you know, what is going to be the catalyst for moving past that, you know. So I guess that's something I find interesting.
So now your third book is just about underway, or is underway, right?
It's just a germ of an idea. It's an
embryo.
embryo.
And is that going to deal with loss too?
I don't know. I literally just have a premise, but probably.
Of course, loss is a powerful, powerful theme.
We always write about things that we are trying to work out, you know. So I think that's. It's not like we have the answers. It's like we're trying to find them, and that's why we choose the themes that we work on. At least for me, that's the case.